Chain Home was the code name for a ring of coastal radar stations built before and during World War II. Chain stations became the first radar to be organised into a complete air defence system used in wartime operations. A key component of each station was a pair of buried reserves, which comprised of underground bunkers and associated surface features, containing a set of duplicated backup equipment intended for use if the principal transmitting or receiving sites were attacked and put out of action. On Saturday the 18th of July 1942, a Blenheim piloted by Philip Henry Lowther took off from RAF Wattisham in Suffolk. During an air test and flying in poor visibility, the Blenheim crashed into one of the radar pylons. Mr. Kenneth T. Tagg, a civilian meteorologist, accompanied the flight for some air experience. In total, 4 people lost their lives. The Chain Home network was eventually replaced by superior technology, but it played an important role during the Second World War. RAF Rackheath is a former Royal Air Force station located near the village of Rackheath, approximately 6 miles northeast of Norwich, in the county of Norfolk in England. Construction on the airfield began in 1943 for the United States Army Air Force's 8th Air Force. Constructed to the Air Ministry requirements for a Class A airfield, it followed the typical layout of other heavy bomber bases, with a main runway of 2,000 yards and 2 auxiliary runways of 1,400 yards. The airfield was opened on the 11th of March 1943 and was used by the 467th Bombardment Group. The group flew consolidated B-24 Liberator as part of the 8th Air Force Strategic Bombing Campaign. The 467th began operations on the 10th of April 1944 with an attack by 30 aircraft on an airfield at Bourges in central France. In combat, the unit served chiefly as a strategic bombardment organisation, attacking the German Navy harbour at Kiel, chemical plants at Bonn, textile factories at Stuttgart, power plants at Ham, a steel works, the aircraft industry at Brunswick, and other objectives. The group flew its last combat mission on the 25th of April 1945 and then returned to the US to Sioux Falls in South Dakota. During June and July 1945, subsequently, the 467th was redesignated as the 467th Bombardment Group, very heavy, with Boeing B-29 Superfortresses in preparation for the planned invasion of Japan. The 467th was inactivated on the 4th of August 1946. The airfield was eventually returned to the Royal Air Force. With the end of the war, the airfield was closed permanently in late 1945, and the airfield site was returned to farming use, save for a very small section of the main runway, small sections of the perimeter track, and a solitary pair of former dispersed aircraft hard standings on the southwest of the airfield. B-24 was used extensively in World War II, where it served in every branch of the American Armed Forces, as well as several Allied air forces and navies. It saw use in every theatre of operations. Along with the B-17, the B-24 was the mainstay of the US strategic bombing campaign in the Western European theatre. It's really noisy with road traffic, so I hope you can hear me. We're just taking a walk around now. We've left the part we were in and we're just going to see if we can find any more buildings or remnants. British anti-invasion preparations of the Second World War entailed a large-scale division of military and civilian mobilisation in response to the threat of invasion, Operation Sea Lion, by German armed forces in 1940 and 1941. The British Army needed to recover from the defeat of the British Expeditionary Force in France, and 1.5 million men were enrolled as part-time soldiers in the Home Guard. The rapid construction of field fortifications transformed much of the United Kingdom, especially southern England, into a prepared battlefield. The Home Guard were to try to slow down the advance of the enemy, even by a few hours, to give the regular troops time to regroup. They were also to defend key communication points and factories. The Home Guard continued to man roadblocks and guard the coastal areas of the United Kingdom and other important places, until late 1944, when they were stood down. They were finally disbanded on the 31st of December 1945, 8 months after Germany's surrender. Men aged 17 to 65 could join, although the age limits were not strictly enforced. One platoon had a 14-year-old and 3 men in their 80s enrolled in it. Service was unpaid, but gave a chance for older or inexperienced soldiers to support the war effort. Home Guard was immortalised in the British television comedy Dad's Army, which followed the formation and running of a platoon in the fictional south coast town Walmington-on-Sea, and is widely regarded as having kept the efforts of the Home Guard in the public consciousness. Spying a pillbox up higher, I wandered up to have a look at it. Unfortunately, like the other pillboxes I had come across, it was full of litter and very difficult to get inside. Pillbox is a type of blockhouse or concrete dug-in guard post, often camouflaged, normally equipped with loopholes through which defenders can fire weapons. From the outside, all of the structures I have come across today, apart from that one in the sea, seem to be very well preserved, and it was really great to see them. As we wandered along the beach, I was really quite amazed at how many structures are left. And as always, the dog had a wonderful time and is now currently sleeping, having worn herself out today. Jesus, you better jump. Just nearly stepped in that. That would have been a leg breaker.
Yeah.
Elliot and I are out today exploring a former World War II RAF airbase in Hethel to see if we can find any remains. How's it going so far, Elliot?
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad.
Yeah. Looks like there's something there. Right, we're going to go and start exploring. We have just been approached by a farmer because apparently we were on private land, so I don't know how much time we'll spend in this particular bit because we said, oh yeah, okay, we're lost, we'll keep going, and don't want him to come back. So we'll just show you this bit quickly and then crack on into the woods, see what we can find. So this is a museum which is currently closed at the moment, but looks like it's all been restored. 389 bomb group. Right. Let's head into the woods, El, shall we, before we get told off?
Yeah.
Look at that. Wow, that's quite complete, isn't it? I think that might be an old pump house. Oh wow, don't want to fall down that. It's cool, isn't it, El?
It is, yeah.
Love the window. We've only been going a couple of minutes and this is already a gold mine. I don't know if we're still on private land. We're kind of following a footpath, although it said it was private. We've been to RAF Rackheath and they didn't really have any complete buildings. Oh wow, look at this. Make sure we don't fall down any wells. This must be like another borehole, I think.
Yeah.
Like pumping station for all the sewage. Really cool. I imagine some machinery must have stood on here. Some old pipe here. Look at the size of those bolts. All these sorts of channels here. Right, very cool. Let's keep looking. So we're constantly looking off to each side to see if we can see anything. Very impressive. So we've just come off a footpath and we've come out to Lotus Cars. So we're currently walking alongside the Lotus test track, heading to the next location to see what we can find.
Jesus, you went to jump.
Elle and I have driven and walked every part of Hethel looking for these air-based ruins, and finally we've found some more. This site is so huge. It's what looks like a chimney here, Elliot.
Yeah.
It's a little chimney. So I think this is site 5. We'll have a good trawl through here. Some broken porcelain there. We can't go anywhere without finding some kind of toilet. Some more ruins. Right, should we get back on the path, El?
Yes, yeah.
See if we can find any more. There's another piece of wall here. Just spied a big chimney in the distance. See if we can get to it. Oh, there's another chimney. There's the remains there of another building. El's battling his way through the woods there with the dog. Just a lone chimney in the middle of the woods. Just nearly stepped in that. That would have been a leg breaker.
Yeah.
That looks like the entrance to a blast shelter. Very overgrown. So I just spotted a mound from the footpath and I thought that looked a little bit out of place. And this is what we found. Okay, torch at the ready. Spades. You come in now. Looks safe enough. There's the escape hatch.
Wow.
It's cool, isn't it?
That is very cool.
This is what I wanted to find. Another blast shelter. So you would go in and crouch down and that would stop the shockwave. They didn't have a roof on them. The escape hatch. This is cool. There's another building just there. This site is just so huge. Look around here. Porcelain. Toilet block.
Another toilet.
Yeah, look. Piece of urinal. The stories it could tell. And looks like there's another blast shelter there, or another bomb shelter. But there's more over there as well.
Ah.
Oh. Oh, this one looks really good.
Oh, wow.
Torch out.
There's nothing for you, Holes.
Nothing for you. Torch. This one's full of rubble. Ooh. There she goes. Imagine crouching in here. I don't know how many people would have fitted in here, but mad, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, yeah. It's crazy how they're all still here.
You got the escape hatch at the end. so pleased we found him. That's the one thing I wanted to find. See the trees growing out of it. I have previously made a comprehensive video on the history of RAF Rackheath, but while I was there I felt like there were things that I was missing, and I thought today I would come back and have an explore with Elliot. We decided to make our way through the undergrowth to see if we could find any remnants of the World War II airbase. And amazingly, yes, there are bits there, sticking through the undergrowth and the brambles. Now, I do not know what the majority of these buildings were used for, but it was fascinating to see the remnants still standing after all this time. Ouch! I just was not expecting to find any of this.
No.
You coming in, dog? Oh, coming in now? I don't know about Elliot, but I feel like we've come across quite a discovery here. We've been tramping through the undergrowth and we found loads of pieces. What are you thinking, Elliot? Were you expecting?
No. Very good day out.
Today started as a bit of a bust, didn't it?
But it's turned out good.
It's turned out good?
Yeah.
Alright, let's keep exploring. That's it, dog, get a stick.
Supplies, I think. Fancy a piss?
Today we have mainly been discovering what I think has been toilets. There we have it, an intact urinal from World War II. Ah, bloody brambles! Now this building absolutely fascinated me. It has the appearance of the kind of building you would expect to find on a World War II airbase. It's a closed down, what looks like former builders' suppliers. Now I know nothing about the building at all, and I don't know whether or not it was part of the airbase, but with its ladders on the outside, it just seems to me that it might be. So if anybody watching knows anything about the history of this building or what it was previously used for, please leave me a message in the comments. I'm dying to find out. This is why I love urban exploring.